On Wednesday, August 15, 2018, school board meeting to order. Madam Treasurer, recall the roll.
Mr. Brubaker?
Here.
Ms. Karstafen?
Here.
Mr. Bax?
Here.
Mr. Elick?
Here.
And Mr. Gebhardt?
Here. Thank you. We'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Oops. Come on. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Quick introductions. To my far left is our treasurer, Joy Clickinger. To her right is our superintendent, Dr. Jama. We have board member Mike Gebhardt, our board vice president, Annie Karstafen. I'm Kevin Brubaker. To my right is board member Greg Elick, and to his right is board member Jim Bax. Any board recognition or presentations tonight, Dr. Jama?
No, sir, Mr. President.
Visitors' comments? Clickinger, anybody? Nobody this evening. Okay. Board member discussion items.
Nothing today for me.
Wait, what?
I know that's
I could come up with some. No, go ahead.
nothing. Anything?
So next Friday's the big day then, obviously with the stadium. So we're getting real close. As long as the weather cooperates, we're definitely there. So
I could tell you, Jake and I have been out there, and several of us have been out there just about every single day, including weekends. And we couldn't ask for a better crew of workers working their tails off. And the spirit and the pride that's out there with these workers working on that facility for us. And I'll tell you, there's nothing like walking. I went and watched a couple kids practice on the football field, and then I went for their scrimmage at Midview, and just hearing the kids talk and the language, the words they use. I can't think of some of the words they use. It's the bomb, it's the you know, whatever. But it's just so cool to hear them talk and how excited they are. So I could tell you, I'm doing Java with Jamas just about every morning right now, except for Fridays. And sometimes on Wednesdays, sometimes not. The talk of the community is this stadium right now and the construction that's taking place. That's all you hear about. I took Jake with me to, he goes with me now on Tuesdays to Cascade Cafe, and he's like, man, the first thing they come in is hit you with that, isn't it? How's the stadium coming? I mean, so good things happening, boss.
a lot of excitement in the community, that's for sure. So
Great. Anybody else? Okay. I entertain a motion to approve the Board of Education record of proceedings for the meeting of August 1, 2018. Do I have a motion?
so moved.
Moved by Mr. Elick.
Second.
Second by Mr. Gebhardt. Any discussion? Madam Treasurer?
Mr. Elick?
Aye.
Mr. Gebhardt?
Aye.
Mr. Bax?
Yes.
Ms. Karstafen?
Aye.
And Mr. Brubaker?
Aye. Motion carried. Treasurer action items.
Thank you, Mr. President. The only thing I have this evening are the monthly financial reports. To accept the financial report for the month of July 2018, which includes all bank reconciliations, the investment report, cash balance report, and appropriation reports as detailed in enclosure G1.
Thank you, Madam Treasurer. Do I have a motion to approve the items recommended by the Treasurer?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Bax. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Elick. Any discussion? Madam Treasurer?
Mr. Bax?
Yes.
Mr. Elick?
Aye.
Ms. Karstafen?
Aye.
Mr. Gebhardt?
Aye.
And Mr. Brubaker?
Aye. Motion carried. Treasurer other?
No?
Treasurer report.
No other report. Thank you.
Anything on the OFCC, OSFC?
Just in the next couple days, there should be some very good news coming out of the stadium, and I'll leave it at that.
Thank you. Superintendent action items. Dr. Jama.
Thank you, Mr. President. At this time, I would like to make the following recommendation under superintendent action items for the Board of Education's consideration this evening. Item number 1, to approve the payment of stipends as listed below. $29.44 per hour, up to 30 hours to the following staff members for their participation in professional development beyond the workday. This stipend will be supported by the Striving Readers Literacy Grant. Item 2, to approve the purchase order for Center for Arts-Inspired Learning for the arts programming for the elementary schools. This is not to exceed $60,000. This purchase order will be supported by the Stocker Grant Foundation General Fund. Item number 3, to approve the purchase order to Hoffman Mifflin Harcourt for Read 180 Interventions Program. This is not to exceed $300,000. This purchase order will be supported by the Striving Readers Literacy Grant. Item number 4, approval. To approve the purchase order to Great Books Foundations for literacy professional development. This is not to exceed $35,000. This purchase order will be supported by the Striving Readers Literacy Grant. Item 5, to approve the contract with Steps Academy for the 18-19 school year as detailed in enclosure K5. Steps Academy is just another facility that we utilize for students who are special needs and need additional help. Item number 6, Cleveland Hearing and Speech. To approve the hearing and speech interpreters contract for the 18-19 school year as detailed in enclosure K6. Item number 7, to approve the LCC clinical affiliation agreement for the time period of August 18th through July 23rd as detailed in enclosure K7. This is a nice program that goes through Denise's office whereby students who are getting their nursing degree from Lorraine County Community College work with our nurses in schools and work with our students to get clinical time. Item number 8, to approve the contract with the Education Alternatives for the education of students for the 18-19 school year as detailed in enclosure K8. Again, another facilities that we utilize if needed for students with disabilities.
Thank you, Dr. Jama.
That
Do I have a
concludes.
motion to approve the items recommended by the superintendent?
So moved.
Moved by Gebhardt Karstoffen. Do I have a second? Second by Ms. Karstoffen. Do I have any discussion? Any discussion? Madam Treasurer?
Mr. Gebhardt?
Aye.
Ms. Karstafen?
Aye.
Mr. Bax?
Yes.
Mr. Elick?
Aye.
And Mr. Brubaker?
Aye, motion carried. Personnel action items, Dr. Jama.
Thank you, Mr. President. At this time, I would like to make the following recommendations under personnel action items as recommended by the superintendent for the Board of Education's consideration this evening, and I'm very proud to say the next group of names who will become members of the Pioneer family. To approve the appointment to the following certified staff as detailed below. Candace Davis, she will be grades 6-7 language arts teacher at Northwood Middle School. Holly Galloway, intervention specialist at Eastern Heights Middle School, and I do believe Holly is a sister of one of our current teachers who work at the high school. Am I correct, Denise, with that? And in fact, Holly's mom and her sister's mom was my student teacher when I taught kindergarten in Lorraine. So it's just, I don't know why I needed to say that, I just did. I have no idea why I did that. But anyways, Megan Gonzalez, grades 6-7 social studies teacher at Northwood Middle. Sarah Marvin Foley, grade 8 language arts teacher at Eastern Heights Middle. Jordan Needing, grade 7 math teacher at Eastern Heights Middle. You'll also see a long list of home instruction tutors as well as substitute teachers for this coming school year. And as you know, we try to recruit and gain as many substitute teachers as possible to help out with any absences that occur on a daily basis. Item number 2, to approve the supplemental contracts of the following certified staff members. Item number 3, to approve the payment for up to 50 hours at the hourly rate of $37.57 per hour for consultation pertaining to Elyria High School's master schedule, state testing, graduation requirements, etc. As you know, Shane took a position with the early college program. He's still part of our Pioneer family, yet he does work for the Lorraine County Community College. Shane is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to the master schedule. Julie Oka has been doing a remarkable job in her new position, but there's going to be times throughout the year that she may need to call on Shane to come in and help her out with the master schedule, with those specific duties, state testing, master schedule, graduation, etc. And we just want to have that in there so Julie doesn't ever feel pigeonholed where she can't get the help that she needs. Item number 4, to approve the payment for up to 50 hours at the employee's negotiated hourly rate for video production. Folks, this is pretty exciting. This is for the new scoreboard that will be at the stadium that goes along with the video production and replay and all that great stuff. Amy when we're done, maybe touch base a little bit on some of the stuff that they're going to be doing. It's going to be beyond exciting, though. Item number 5, to approve the athletic supplemental contracts of the following certified staff members, classified staff members, and non-employees as detailed below. These 2 individuals have been vetted and do hold the proper credentials for the position. Item number 6, to approve the following game workers for their athletic service as detailed below. Item number 7, retirement. To approve the retirement of the following classified staff member as detailed below. Gary Smith, one of our maintenance, general maintenance employees, will be retiring effective February 1st, and we wish him the best once he starts his new chapter in his life. Item number 8, to approve the appointment of the following classified staff members as detailed below. Number 9, to approve the appointment of the following security resource officers as detailed below. And as you know, each year we bring the entire police force to the Board of Education, and we hire each and every police officer, even though a handful of them work the games and the events and act as an SRO. If there's ever an emergency or if there's ever a need, they're already on our books where they could come in and fill in for an officer who's not able to partake. And with that, Mr. President, that concludes my recommendations under personnel action for the board's consideration.
Thank you, Dr. Jama. I entertain a motion to approve the personnel action items as recommended by the superintendent.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Gustafson. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Bax. Discussion.
Yes. Dr. Jama,
Yes.
I just have a question about our 7th grade and 8th grade sports, kind of
Yes.
spurred by having the volleyball coach from Eastern Heights. As you're aware, a little over a year ago, we hired a athletic director for the middle schools.
Correct.
And I was hoping that maybe we could get some sort of update on where we're at with this. There was a lot of dialogue back then about the 7th grade sports coming back. Some are combined, some are not. And I was just curious where we are with the numbers and how we're doing here. And there was a lot of different metrics thrown out there of
Absolutely.
where we could be. And I was just curious if that's something we could
We
get.
can have it
coming
at
up this
a
year.
upcoming board meeting, if the next one, if not the next one, the following. I'll have both Heather Beck and Sean Arno here and to do a presentation.
Okay, great.
Yeah, sorry. Just to give you some numbers, and they're more into it. That's not on me, Marty. Remember, face for radio. 8th grade, we scrimmaged on Monday. 8th grade football has about 32 kids out, and that's from Eastern Heights, Northwood, and Westwood. And 7th grade, we still have 2 kids who need to get their physicals, but I think we're up around 34. And they scrimmaged today, and they scrimmaged Sheffield. We got in that, so we got that. Also, we've had 2 scrimmages with volleyballs, and those are going very, very well. Numbers are up, and we actually had to make cuts this time. So I don't know if that's what you were looking for.
So you're saying 32 with a combined 8th grade team?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we went up against an Akron team, a very formidable Akron Buckle, and they're pretty good. And we each scored once, and our line moved their line around.
Oh.
So it was impressive.
Okay.
And the neat thing about this is those students that are playing right now, those football players, they're going to play together for the next 6 years. And so Sean's vision is really coming together.
Okay, good.
So, and
It's
we're
good to
having
hear.
more people come out. And as always, once school starts, you probably get about 5 or 6 transfers in. So our numbers can only go up.
So you were able to field a full 7th grade team?
Yes.
Volleyball team?
Oh, volleyball team, yes.
Okay, good.
Yes,
That's good.
they're not as good as the 8th grade, but you know what happens in a year.
Oh, sure, absolutely. I think it's encouraging that you have enough girls coming out to field a team. So.
I still think it's important. What I'll do, Mr. Ellick, is have that presentation. I think that would be great.
Sure.
That'd be great, thank you.
Very helpful.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, how many substitutes are there now? Do we know?
We roughly have around 80.
80? Didn't last year we have 100? Or-
Yeah.
We're still trying to recruit.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll keep them.
And also, on the police, did this list get updated? I know at least one guy that, on this list that is retired. I don't know if they get updated every year.
It is. Yeah, they do. In fact, check on that tomorrow, Jamie. Making sure it's the most updated list. Bill Witt is retired, I do know that, yeah.
That's what,
He pops out.
not, I don't, big deal. Okay.
Anything else?
They do when they hire me now, yeah.
Seems no further discussion. We had a motion and a second, so Madam Treasurer, if you call the roll.
Ms. Karstafen?
Aye.
Mr. Bax?
Yes.
Mr. Elick?
Aye.
Mr. Gebhardt?
Aye.
And Mr. Brubaker?
Aye, motion carried. I believe we have several teachers, new teachers here today,
All
so
right.
Good evening. This thing's never left.
You have to wait.
Please stand as I announce your name. Candace Davis, she's going to be a 6th to 7th grade language arts teacher at Northwood Middle School. Holly Galloway, she's an intervention specialist at Eastern Heights Middle School. Megan Gonzalez, she will be our 6th, 7th grade social studies teacher at Northwood Middle School. Sarah Marvin Foley, she will be our language arts teacher at Eastern Heights Middle School. Jordan Needy, she will be our 7th grade math teacher at Eastern Heights Middle School. And we have Ryan Jones here. He will be our cleaner at EECB and Westwood.
Awesome.
So welcome to the Elyria City School and the Pioneer team.
Remember,
Thank you.
you are part of a Pioneer family now that is nothing but full of pride and spirit, and good luck and keep up the great job.
welcome to all of you. Dr. Jama, any other superintendent report this evening?
No, just a couple things I want to share with the board. I have visited several of the practices going along with what Mike had said, and they seem to be going extremely well. I've been to several of the football practices, several of the actual tennis practices as well, and the girls' tennis team this year has more numbers than they've had out in many years. So I'm excited about that as well. They had a match today, I believe, against Midview. I'm not sure how well that went, but great things are happening with our sports program. I've also seen the band. Things are going great with the band. And also visiting buildings. I've been in a couple buildings just to take a walk around. They look fantastic. So our custodial crew, kudos to Jake and his team for doing a great job and making sure our buildings are ready for opening day, which is right around the corner.
Thank you, Dr. Jama. Board of Education, New Beginnings Project to acknowledge, express appreciation, and accept the fifth of 5 installments of $250,000 by the Stocker Foundation, 201 Burns Road, Elyria, Ohio, 44035, towards the New Beginnings Project. Third item is the board policies and regulations first reading, to approve the first reading of the following board policy, the organizational chart. Do I have a motion to approve said items?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Elick. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Karstoffen. Discussion.
Question. On the organization charts.
Yes, sir.
I noticed that we still have the verbiage about the superintendent becoming incapacitated.
Yes.
And that going up for a board vote. I thought it was the board's intention that that would be something the associate superintendent would be, have no choice but to move right into that spot, so,
Okay.
Without a vote.
without a vote.
Without a vote.
I totally agree. I was going to bring that up.
So somehow,
Changed.
maybe we could get a recommendation from council on how we take care of that?
It's statutory, I'll see whether or not there's any impediment to that plan.
Okay, great.
Can we approve it as the form this evening and make an adjustment if we have to, Howard?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Sounds good.
Any further discussion? Madam Treasurer?
Mr. Elick?
Aye.
Ms. Karstafen?
Aye.
Mr. Bax?
Yes.
Mr. Gebhardt?
Aye.
And Mr. Brubaker?
Aye, motion carried. We have no executive session this evening, so if there's no further business before the board, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Elick, second by Ms. Karstoffen. Discussion. Madam Treasurer.
Mr. Elick?
Aye.
Ms. Karstafen?
Aye.
Mr. Bax?
Yes.
Mr. Gebhardt?
Aye.
And Mr. Brubaker?
Aye, motion carried, meeting adjourned.
You did it.
Thank you.